And we are live. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another live Q&A / Hangout here on the Film Stocked channel. It is Wednesday, February 26th, 6:03 p.m. Eastern for those watching on the replay. And I'm running a couple minutes late, but it's going to be all right. I got my ice cold water, no Dr. Pepper Zero because I had one a little earlier to get a little bit of a boost so that it could the caffeine could hit my blood before I hit go live. And so I'm feeling good. I'm feeling all right. I got a little energy. And so let's have a good stream. Fire off your questions in the chat. If you're new or returning, basically, ask me anything. Movies, TV shows, Oscars, theme parks, food, life, whatever it may be, sports. Fire off your questions in the chat. I will get to as many of them as I can. This is a very chill, laid-back environment where, again, just hanging out and answering your questions, growing the community, getting to know more of you guys, as opposed to just a straight-up informative video about, an update or movie review. More laid back. So this is about the chillest we get here on the channel. So welcome. If you're in here, the greatest way to support is to just hit that like button. It's free. Boom. Do it right now. It helps out quite a bit. But if you want to go the extra mile with support and guarantee that I can also get to your question, comment, or concern, Super Chat is the way to go. It's a guarantee that I get right to your question or comment. It pops up on my end, and it's a way to help financially support the channel as well. So consider sending a Super Chat on the stream as well. But I say we just get down to business. Let's do this thing. Let's do it. Let's see. We already got 58 people in here. Welcome in. Of course, hit that like button. I love this question from Bert from Cobra Kai in the chat. If there was a spinoff for Cobra Kai, what do you think it should be about? So we talked about this, I think, in the recent stream, or maybe it was a video comment section. But a lot of people have pitched their ideas to me as if I, have any say. I mean, people have just commented, I want to see Sam and Miguel out in Okinawa. I want to see Shozen and Kim Dae-eun. The one I want to see, and the one that I think they're going to do, it involves Hawk and Dimitri, Binary Bros. And it's like, that's the one that in an interview, I believe the creators have hinted at that they have already sort of got a foundation for behind the scenes. I feel like that might be one of them. But I would love to explore Miyagi, if anything. That would be awesome because, he is a character who you can do so much with, especially if it is a prequel. I know they had teased they might be doing that a while back, so bring that on. One of those two. I'm here for the Binary Bros or the Miyagi prequel. Could Conclave win Best Picture? Absolutely. Speaking of what film is going to win Best Picture, I'm going to say Anora is going to win Best Picture, or The Brutalist. Flip a coin. I haven't seen either film, to be completely honest with you. That's why I'm not an Oscar voter, though. See what I did there? Anyway, I could be, though, based on how they roll lately. I'm sure we'll talk about that later. But, oh, man. Anyway, I think Anora will win. I don't know why. I just have a weird feeling. What do I know? I don't know much about the Oscars. I follow them every year loosely. I'll watch them, but I'm not a pundit on the subject. Movie Fan 2002 with the first Super Chat. Thank you so much. Always love seeing that Luke Skywalker profile pic from Battlefront, baby. Chris, did you hear about the Stranger Things release date? So there's rumored release dates. Nothing is set in stone. Nothing is confirmed by Netflix, the Duffers, any of that. I have seen rumored dates. Kind of aligns with the rumor that arose a while back as well, that part of the season's going to drop on Thanksgiving. Part of it's going to drop in October. So that seems to be the ballpark of where we're at. I'll wait for further confirmation, till that's 100% official, until I make a video saying, hey, this is the legit release date. But we can kind of operate under the assumption it's going to be around then, October, November, December. In that range, that's probably where we're going to get it. And it does seem like all signs are pointing to it being split into volumes again, which makes sense. That's just Netflix's big business model, So I've prepared myself mentally for this season to be split in half. I've also prepared for it to be October or later that we get the first part at least. So I don't know if those dates will be exact, the ones that they're rumored out there, but I wouldn't be surprised if they were either because, that's just how it is with a lot of dates getting out early. A lot of times they're accurate. So we'll see. Obviously going to wait for further confirmation. We'll probably get that in the coming months, but I'm okay with it. I would honestly prefer it not to drop on Thanksgiving, though, the final part, because, if you guys know, I'm going to want to watch the episodes and make boatloads of videos about it. And Thanksgiving is a very busy family holiday. My birthday is actually 2 days after that, November 29th. And so it would just be a real hectic time, personally speaking, for them to drop those two final episodes. So I hope that it's a little earlier in the month, honestly, but we'll have to see, obviously. I just want to see it, Max McDonald with the Super Chat. Notre Dame guy, it looks like. Okay. Who do you think the new Avengers should be? Good question. Sam Wilson, I would say. He kind of being poised to be the new leader, at least of the Earth-based Avengers. So Sam Wilson as Captain America, I'm here for. I think Spider-Man 1,000,000% has to be in that lineup. I would also say Doctor Strange should be in that lineup. Now, we're getting into characters who were pretty big in Infinity War at this point, but in terms of like new characters, I would love to see Miss Marvel in the picture. I think she is a standout. Shang-Chi, a standout in terms of new characters. Give me, Yelena in sort of a Black Widow type role. I'm here for that. She's great. Red Guardian, if possible, as well. Some of those Thunderbolt characters. Ideally, I think Captain Marvel would be in the picture if we're talking, current heroes. And then a lot of interviews have been happening lately with Chris Pratt. That movie, The Electric State, the Netflix original. It's had its premiere, and at the carpet, he kept getting asked about, working with the Russos again on Doomsday, and he kept kind of hinting at it. His publicist pulled him away from one question. I think that I almost just broke my finger, by the way. I was messing with it, and that was weird. I think that Star-Lord will return. They teased it at the end of Guardians 3, and so he could definitely be on this new Avengers squad. But otherwise, it's hard to say. Give me some. Let's see, who else have I missed? Give me some Kate Bishop in there, and I think I'm set with that squad. I don't even know who I just rattled off, but yeah, why not? Thor, I don't think would be an Avenger. He would just be help, be extra help. You know what I'm saying? Okay, let's see. Welcome in, DJ Dylan. How you doing? I did not watch the new Pixar show Win or Lose. Honestly, I didn't even know it came out. Alyssa says, "Are you excited for Daredevil Born Again?" I'm super excited for it. Yeah, absolutely. I'm pumped for that. I'll have a review dropping next week of Daredevil Born Again, and I put out a poll on my community tab asking if you guys would be interested in watching me react to the show. Very comparable to how I react to Cobra Kai. And it looks like a lot of people would be interested. I'm still not fully convinced just because I've I've reacted to non-Cobra Kai things on the channel before, and it's just a completely different ballgame. I had so much fun with Cobra Kai. It's like I equate watching Cobra Kai to watching a sports game where I'm really invested in just the the antics of it all. I get fed up, I get hyped. Not a lot of shows really do that for me, and so Daredevil Born Again, a lot darker, more serious drama. What value? I don't know. I struggled internally with should I react or not. I'm on the fence about it because I did reactions to The Last of Us, one episode, The Mandalorian season 3, one episode, Arcane, a few episodes. The response wasn't really there, but also it kind of felt weirder than a Cobra Kai reaction. I just think that it was the perfect time when I fired up Cobra Kai back in the day. That was August 2022, and I was like, I'm gonna watch the show, and it sold me. And it's a show I think built for that kind of community viewing experience, whereas some of these other shows are just way darker, and we'll have to see. So I'm on the fence about it. I haven't made my decision, but I will 100% be reviewing I'm just going to say it, the full season on next week. So there you go. Emily in the chat, shout out Emily, always being in here showing support. That'd be sick. Yeah, Chester Rushing, Tommy from Stranger Things, right? Very cool stuff. He was on I made an appearance on friends through social media, their podcast. That's out today. Go check it out. Cubby and Hannah Sarah, we talked about recasting Stranger Things with 80s icons. Had a lot of fun. I linked it on my community tab. So if you haven't got a chance to check that out, I suggest doing it. But go give it a watch if you haven't. It was a fun time, about an hour long. So they had him. The reason I bring that up is they had Chester Rushing on their show, on their podcast, I believe a week or two ago. So very cool stuff. Shout out to Starcourt in the chat. I had no clue Lady Gaga was dropping a new album. I'm an old head, I guess. Benjamin, welcome in. Jason Cruz, a legend in this town. What's the oldest movie you've seen? Short films like A Dog's Life count? Let me go look on my letterbox and tell you, because I think you can go to films and scroll to the very bottom, because I have them sorted by release date. So let's scroll together. Could I sort this by decade? Yeah, but let's just be extra and scroll. Why not? These are all the movies I've seen. Let's scroll. Why not? We're still in the 2000s. Okay. This could take a second, but I'll talk while I scroll. Okay, the oldest movie I've seen according to this is 1902's A Trip to the Moon, directed by Georges Méliès. Watched that in a an introductory film class in college. It's one of the, if not the first, hold on, let me make sure I have my facts right here. It's one of the first motion pictures ever, I think. Maybe the first, I don't know. One of those is from back in the day. But that's the earliest movie I've technically seen. Jake says, can't wait for Revenge of the Sith re-release, my favorite of the franchise. Will you be there? I will be there, yes. My goal in life, one of them, is to see all of the movies from my favorite franchise in theaters. And I'm getting extremely close with Indiana Jones. I've got one more. They're actually doing an Indiana Jones trilogy marathon at a theater chain near me in March, but it would require me to watch Raiders and Crusade again, which I just watched Crusade in theaters, and I just watched Raiders again for my Spielberg watch through. So I don't know if I'm going to do it, but I'm like, when will I get to see Temple of Doom in theaters again? Like, it already its anniversaries are a bit far off. So Indiana Jones, I'm almost there. In terms of Star Wars, though, I need to cross Revenge of the Sith off the list. Very bummed I didn't see this in theaters on its initial release in 2005, but I was 5, damn near 4, actually. I have to, let me see. Yeah, I think I was actually 4 when it came out. Yeah, it came out in May. I was 4 years old. If it was not PG-13, my parents were going to let me go, but because it was PG-13 at the time, it was a little too intense, and I get it. I respect the decision, because if you want the truth, I think I've told this years ago on the channel. The first time I watched that movie, I cried. Like, I still watched, they let me watch it on DVD, so like I was then 5 years old, and I just got freaked out when it wasn't even like the very end. I got freaked out when Palpatine uses his saber to electrocute Windu. And that whole thing freaked me out. But specifically no, I have it reversed. When Mace Windu blocks the Force lightning from Palpatine and he's putting it back on Palpatine, and we see him sort of get into looking like the Emperor, that transition freaked me the hell out. Like, I think we had to pause the movie. I started freaking out. Don't know why. I just remember that vividly. I was able to watch the movie. I'd watched it a ton after that. I don't know what that was all about. I think I just had some weird moment. I literally finished the movie and I watched it many times. I got the DVD, we had rented it. I think I then got the DVD for as a part of an Easter basket. Don't know why I got movies for Easter, but I honestly loved that. DVDs, not Blu-rays, straight up DVDs. This was way back in the day. So I had the full screen DVD. So black bars here, wasn't here. And I watched the hell out of that thing all the time. It was the one that I would watch with my friends. So yeah, I never got to see it in theaters, but I want to. And I know I'm taking a long time here, but here's the Star Wars movies I've seen in theaters. The sequel trilogy, Rogue One, Solo, Phantom Menace upon re-release recently, Empire on re-release in 2020, and so then I'll have Revenge of the Sith. And the only ones I wanted to see are New Hope, Jedi, and Clones, which sucks because I missed the Return of the Jedi re-release. It happened not too long ago. I think 2023, right? Yeah, 40 years. So that's a damn shame. I'm going to have to wait until maybe the 45th anniversary to check that one out, but that's on me. That's on me. Let me type something in the chat real quick. Hit that like button, by the way. I don't know. Let's use the chat more. It's a fun thing. There we go. Someone hit the like button. Anyway, I'm going with Anor right now. I got a weird gut feeling. Alex, what's good? Network 98. How's everybody doing? Neil, what's up? What's up? I've never seen Brooklyn Nine-Nine, but I've seen clips on social media for years. And it's funny because I grew up loving The Lonely Island, listening to their music and watching their skits at way too young of an age, to be completely honest. But I've always been a fan of the Andy Samberg comedy. The movie Hot Rod, hysterical. But I never watched Brooklyn Nine-Nine. More importantly, I don't know why, but I've never watched Popstar. I think I'm putting it off for the right moment. I'm gonna love that movie. I know the words to almost every Lonely Island song, and that's a Lonely Island production. And I know I would love it. I just don't know why I haven't watched it. You guys ever have one of those movies where it's I know I will love this, it's just I haven't watched it? That's one of them. Do I watch any crime shows? I watched Blue Bloods back in the day with my parents. Haven't watched many current crime shows. I need to see Mindhunter, though. That's one that's pretty high on my list. I guess I technically watched True Detective season 1, but I haven't watched any of the other seasons. What in the world do you think Doomsday will even be about? Most of phases 4 through 6 are closure for most characters. Sick profile picture, by the way. I love that. But I have no clue. Genuinely no clue. I'm going to say that the plot will be hinted at in Fantastic Four. I think the Earth side of it we could be moving towards that in Thunderbolts, Fantastic Four, but I couldn't tell you what the actual plot of the movie is going to be. I think Doctor Doom, a version of him, will have to be present in Fantastic Four, whether we like it or not. Okay. And they'll somehow explain that there. And then this version will show up in Avengers Doomsday. But I think this movie, what am I trying to say here? It's going to be a lot different than the Infinity War Endgame era because of the buildup. Thanos being introduced way before Doom, we know. But if they're going to do this the right way, maybe it would involve, and I know this isn't how it was in Avengers Infinity War. You can't replicate that, so we just kind of have to accept it, I guess. What if the main plot is just, hey, let's rip off Kang Dynasty? I don't know. I have no idea. Are there going to be, like, how Kang Dynasty was setting up multiple thousands of Kangs? Are they just going to do that with Doctor Doom? I don't know. I have no answer for you. And honestly, I feel bad for the people that have to write this movie because they're up shit's creek, if you want the truth. They have a tough path ahead of them. And I don't know. I have no clue what the movie's going to be about. But I saw the Russos comment at the carpet of Electric State. They were like, we found a spot that we can really get in with the story and it could challenge viewers. That's, they claim to have something cooked up. I don't know, though. We'll have to see. Do I think Nancy will die in Stranger Things? I don't. Hype for Saw 11. Yeah, I am if it happens. I feel like it's going to get delayed, Big bummer. Big bummer. Let's see. Do I want a Back to the Future remake by the Cobra Kai creators? I wouldn't be opposed, to be honest with you. That would be kind of sick. Now, I know they teased that in the final scene of the show. I think it was more of just kind of a bit than anything. But if they were to do it, I would trust them over most people. I don't actually want, I know I'm joking. I don't actually want them to ever touch Back to the Future, anybody. But if someone were to do it, probably be them. I think it would, hear me out. Something involving Biff, I think, would be the route they would have to go. Because I don't know if you'd want to, I don't know if you'd get Michael J. Fox or Christopher Lloyd if we're doing a sequel of sorts. Biff could be the route if they ever want to go there. Don't know if I'm here for it, though. If anyone were to do it, I probably would trust them, though, because look what they did with Cobra Kai. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, there's hope if those three were attached, but that's never going to happen. That'll never happen. Let's see. Well, welcome in. First time being here. Welcome in, Mohammed. I wanted to hear, do you ever consider reviewing older movies? Probably not. That's not something really... that's not really up my alley here on the channel. I love to talk about them on live streams or in tier lists, but just reviewing Raiders of the Lost Ark. I've talked about it so much on the channel and on Letterboxd that I don't know what a review would really bring to the table. I don't know what I would also get out of it. Meaning I don't know if I would feel, creatively fulfilled doing that, just because it could feel a bit too repetitive for me. And I've never thought about that. I know that it was a popular trend. People still do it, I think, where it's a road to insert movie here, where you review the big past movies. But I've said what I need to say about those movies. And especially if I grew up with them, reviewing them, not really my thing. So if you want my thoughts on a lot of older movies, follow me on Letterboxd at Filmstock. But I don't see myself, for example, The Odyssey comes out next year. I don't see myself doing reviews of Memento or Insomnia or following leading up to that personally. That's just my personal preference, I guess. Backstory of Miyagi. Yes, I'm very much here for that. Let's see. What do I think will win Best Animated Feature at the Oscars? Probably The Wild Robot, but I know that Flow movie has a lot of buzz going for it as well, which is cool to see. I have seen neither. I do hope to watch a couple Oscar movies this week. But, I don't know if that's going to happen or not, because I'm watching a television show right now. Any guesses? Guess in the chat right now while I type this out. What show am I watching right now? There are 2 seasons. The second season is currently coming out, and I'm on the second episode of that season. It's also on the thumbnail of this video. Let me finish typing this out in the chat real quick. And... 1 second. All right. Hopefully that was proper grammar. I have no clue. I didn't really get a good look at it. Okay. Yeah, I think it's a coin toss. I don't know what the betting odds are. I used to look into that seriously. I was like, what can I bet on the Oscars this year? But no, I think if I had to guess, I might lean The Wild Robot over Flow. I know that those are both in contention for that, but no, we'll see. I have not seen The Penguin yet. Sick about it, truly. I'm watching Severance, by the way. Let me look down in the chat and see if people wrote that or not. I'm way behind, but that always happens. Yeah, I'm watching Severance right now, so that's why I have not. I'm watching Severance. I'm doing a Spielberg marathon, and I'm watching Invincible on a week-to-week basis. Which, if you want to talk about Invincible, someone ask me, I'll go off. I will. Respectfully, I will go off. And it's not that I hate the show. I almost blew up a gasket watching this episode past week. I was like on my feet, almost yelling at the TV. It was bad. Anyway, blood pressure's going up thinking about Invincible right now. We got 100 people in here. Welcome in, guys. Hit the like button. Let's get to 100 likes. Do it. Anyway, Chris, thoughts on Ted Lasso? I love season 1. Season 2, very good. Season 3, rocky road, but sticks the landing for me. So I'm down with some Ted Lasso. I think season 1 is the best season, but they're doing another, apparently. Don't know why. They opened the door or left the door open for like a spinoff of sorts with AFC Richmond. Ted coming back, though. Why would he come back? I don't know. He had a perfect ending. We'll see, though. We got a question here that says, what do I predict will be my personal 5-star movies this year? Great question. I haven't seen a 5-star movie yet this year, but if I had, I don't know, because even saying this, like, oh, I might give this movie 5 stars, is that going to create a set of expectations for myself where I psych myself out, you know? I would like to believe that, that's too tough to answer, actually. Let me look really quickly let me take a glance at sort of the IMDb watch list, which I've only highlighted major releases. That way, when I go to like the coming soon tab, I don't have to sift through everything. And water break, by the way. Oh, that's easy. The one that I'm probably the most confident in loving the most, there's 2. I won't say one of them because I don't want to psych myself out about that one. It's the best action franchise of all time. That's all I'll say. You know what it is now. But there's one movie that I'm pretty damn confident I'll love. Wicked for Good. If it's just as good as Wicked, it'll probably get 5 stars. I've seen Wicked 3 times now, and I can't get the soundtrack out of my head. I call it the musical movie event of our lifetime because I believe that firmly. And I think that Wicked for Good probably going to be just as good, if not better. It's basically the same movie, right? Just a direct continuation. Part 1, part 2 of a play. Act 1, Act 2. So I think that I'll love that. And I think there's a really good chance it could get 5 stars for me. Okay. Do I listen to podcasts? Not really. Honestly, if I listen to anything, it's college football related. It's in the fall. And right now it's not football season. So I like turn my football brain off and I go all in on movies and shows and try and let the time pass so that it'll be the fall before we know it. Mineral Dude says, hey, what's your opinion on Severance? It's my favorite show. Yeah. So I will give my thoughts now. Severance, very good TV. Very, very good TV. I went in with everyone and their mother saying it was the greatest thing of all time, and that's just immediately setting whatever you're watching up for failure. And so once I was able to take a step back from this, ridiculous amount of hype, this hyperbolic hype online, and watch it for what it was, I was like, okay, this show, pretty damn good TV. The season 1 finale is the best episode by far so far. Season 2, I'm intrigued. It's just such a unique premise, It's Matrixy in a sense, but very clever, and the writing is top notch. It has me engaged every episode. The mystery of it all as it unfolds, there's so many questions. Sometimes more questions are posed than answers are given, which can be a little frustrating, but it does a good job of having cliffhanger endings that keep me engaged every week. It's such a smart show, though. There's one moment in the season 1 finale where a character is quoting a scene from earlier. It was such a great callback. I had chills thinking about it, but really well written scene. I do think that we live in a society, to go all Joker on you guys, where every show that comes out, or movie for that matter, that's remotely original or feels kind of fresh or is just a well-written show, is then deemed online as the greatest thing ever. This is the best movie ever. This is the best show ever. This is the best show on TV. I see that a lot. I've seen that about Invincible, which is, I think, a delusional take, but to each their own. Anyway, I don't know what is going on in society. I think that we need to, if this is the best thing ever, and then this is the best thing ever, then nothing is actually the best thing ever, and everything just gets watered down. And everyone has these false expectations of greatness when that's not how it's ever been. I don't know. This is very new in terms of media consumption in the world. 10 to 20 years ago, There weren't people on Twitter telling you this is the worst thing ever, this is the best thing ever for every single movie or show. And so I'm almost going the Severance route myself moving forward. This is my plan. You'll know what I mean if you've seen the show. I'm going to have my brain basically ignore everything I see online that's a positive or negative reaction that's hyperbolic about a movie or show, and I'm just going to ignore it forever. Like the Daredevil Born Again reactions are out. They can all eat shit. I don't care what anyone says about the show. I don't care if people are saying it's the second coming of Christ. I don't care if people are saying it's the worst thing ever and actually a better or worse show than She-Hulk. I don't care. I'm just going to go watch it. Now, I never let these early reactions to things. Sometimes I get to see things early, which is very cool. I don't let reactions impact my thoughts, but like I don't let them say, oh, this person didn't like it, so I can't like it. That's not how it is. But it's human nature. If you see enough of, oh, this is the greatest, this is greatest, it seeps into your brain. You're like, okay, then this is probably great, right? Even if you want to go in saying, hey, I'm going to form my own opinion. If you see it enough, oh, then I can't, this is going to blow my mind. And you just create this unrealistic, almost dreamlike vision of what a show or movie should be. And nothing will ever reach that height. And so, yeah, it's very good TV. It is not the best show I've ever seen. I don't even know if it's like in my top 10 shows, but it's very good. Very good. Well-written show. Does it have to be the best thing ever, though? The best thing on TV ever in our lives? The Breaking Bad of this generation? Like, chill with that. That's how I feel. I don't know. That's just my 2 cents on the matter. Anyway, very good show. I'm actually watching 4 or probably 3 episodes tonight after this stream. So excited for that. Excited for that. All right. Water break. Again, there's no way I'm going to get to every question in here. There's just so many of them. I appreciate you guys for firing them off. But Super Chat's the way to go to guarantee I get right down to it. Cuts through the fat, boom, it pops up on my screen, and it's a huge way to help support the channel. But yeah, let's do a little speed round. What say you? You guys down? It's already been 26 minutes. My gosh. Favorite NFL team? I don't have one. Truly, do not have one. When I was 12, I liked the Falcons, and then I swore off them, and I have not cared about the NFL since then. Really. Like, I watch it here and there. I'm a player guy more than team guy. Favorite Stranger Things character? Hopper, Steve, baby. All right. Thoughts on evil Avenger counterparts in Doomsday? I feel like this is the route they're going to go. I feel like that's what they're going to do, and it's kind of sick, honestly. It's like, imagine seeing, Chris Evans, RDJ, ScarJo, like evil versions of their characters. It'd be different, ballsy, might even enrage a lot of us. But I think if they went that route, we could see those actors give maybe their best performances as those characters. It wouldn't be the Tony that we saw die in Endgame. It wouldn't be the old man Steve. These would be characters from different universes, variants, but evil variants. It's a very fascinating concept, right? I think we'd all have to have an open mind about it, though. Have I heard that supernatural actors are coming to The Boys? I saw that. I've never seen Supernatural, so it doesn't really affect me. But I do know that, is it Eric Kripke, the creator or one of the main writers of The Boys, was heavily involved in Supernatural, and so it makes sense that there's a reunion happening there. Very good for all the fans of Supernatural, though. Very cool. Abby! Shout out Abby. Have I listened to the new Wallow songs? I'm a little behind on new music. I know they dropped 2 or 3 fairly recently. I haven't checked those out yet, but I have been listening to Wallows a lot. All of their major 3 albums. Don't shoot me. I don't know. There might be one more. I've been listening to those all the time on my walks. I'm in a big walk phase right now. Every day, I'm trying to walk about 3 miles a day right now. Whether it's on the treadmill or outdoors, just to get fresh air, feel better. And so I've been listening to a lot of Wallows, a lot of Joe as well, which I've always dug Joe for a couple of years now. He's the man. Okay, I am not a Robert Eggers guy. I know that is very alienating. I don't know. I know a lot of people love him. So people are probably like, "What the hell is this guy's deal?" But I watched The Lighthouse in theaters, and I was I was 19. I saw it with my friend who was one of my roommates in college at the time. And wow, did that movie... We talked about it for about 40 minutes on the drive home because we drove out of the town to see it. And I was like, damn, this is frustrating. Very frustrating movie. So I kind of never got into him again because of that, actually. DJ says we're finally getting Andor Season 2 soon. Hell yes, we are. April 24th? April 22nd. Sounds right. April 22nd. Yeah, the trailer wasn't really even a trailer. I'm not like taking a shot. I liked what I saw, but it was more of a commercial teaser with a shit ton of quotes. This is the most prestige television drama, loved by critics. I get it, but I love season 1. Trust me, it's awesome. Some of the best Star Wars media we've gotten in a long, long time. So I'm excited for season 2. The one shot that really was like, hell yeah, we're back, is when like we see Cassian. It's like he shoots like a missile out of like the wing of the ship, and we just stick with that. Oh, it was so cool. I'm excited for that show. Daredevil season 2 next year. Yeah, we're getting it next year. They're on it. They're on it. Love to see it. What do I think the asterisk in Thunderbolts means? This is not my original thought, by the way. I've seen other bigger people, like bigger comic guys. I'm not a comic guy. I've seen them, give their takes all over Twitter that like this could mean, oh, they're actually going to be the Dark Avengers. That's kind of what I'm running with. I don't know ball like that, unfortunately. I wish I did, but I feel like that means that by the end of the movie, they're going to call themselves something else. So speaking of Thunderbolts, Max with Super Chat saying, what are my thoughts on Thunderbolts? I am very excited for this one. It comes out in May, so we're almost there, which is weird to say out loud. But Thunderbolts, I mean, I've always been sold with the cast. I know when it was initially announced, people were skeptical, but I think a lot of people have been won over by it now. Red Guardian and Elena said this tons, mean it. They are two, if not the two, of my favorite characters post-Endgame that have been introduced. I love that like sort of father-daughter dynamic they have, and David Harbour's the man. You guys already know he's Hopper. So give me them. Bucky, awesome to see him back. And I feel like this will be that street level side of the MCU that I've always been more of a fan of. I realize post Endgame, some of my least favorite projects are the ones that really go in on the multiverse space elements. Like my favorite, well, I can't say that. I'm thinking of like Multiverse of Madness or Love and Thunder. That's like way out there. I'm thinking, what are my favorites? For the most part, they're Earth-based. Like No Way Home, obviously that deals with the multiverse. So I know I might be like, oh, he's a hypocrite, but it's like we're in New York City for the majority of the film. You know what I'm saying? A spell just sort of reverses that, and variants come, but it's New York City. Big fan of Shang-Chi. That's on Earth. We got some fantasy sides in Talo, but it's not like we're going between multiverses and tons of magical powers are being used throughout the movie. The rings are there, but like Multiverse of Madness wasn't crazy about. A lot of the shows, specifically, wasn't crazy about WandaVision. I wasn't crazy about Love and Thunder. The Marvels were like off in space a bunch, and it's a bit jarring. Guardians 3, technically not on Earth the whole movie, but it's that Guardians world, and we're in it. It's not like we're hopping from timeline to timeline the whole movie. So thoughts on Thunderbolts, I think it's going to feel Phase 2 Marvel. I said that about Brave New World as well, and I stand by that. What I meant when I said that was it's all in one place for the most part. Like this is a Captain America sort of mystery film, political thriller of sorts. It's all like in the US though. It's not like we're jumping around all these different locations off planet. So it's not getting too crazy. It's fairly simplistic. Messy, you could argue, certainly, but pretty simple main plot for the most part. I feel like Thunderbolts is going to follow suit with that. So very excited for Thunderbolts. The trailers, the marketing, all that's really won me over. Okay, who would win in a fight? Steve Harrington season 4 or Hawk season 6? Does Steve Harrington have weapons and does Hawk have none is the question I would ask. Because I feel like Steve could throw a Molotov cocktail or, his bat or axe. I mean, if we're going like hand-to-hand combat, Hawk's going to whoop him. Steve's been whooped plenty of times. Jonathan Byers. You couldn't even take Jonathan Byers. I'd take Hawk probably as much as I love Steve. In a straight-up hand-to-hand fight, no competition, right? Okay. Where are we at in the chat? Okay. Who's your favorite Succession character from Silver? I'm Team Kendall. As am I. Kendall Roy is my favorite character in Succession, as your profile picture indicates. He's the man. No one in that character is a good person, or no one in that show, sorry, is a good person. No character is. And so it's just like, who fascinates you the most? I always was Team Kendall as well. Yeah, I just am. I know that he's done some awful things. Who hasn't in Succession? That's kind of the beauty of the show, watching horrible people in this world. Yeah, it reminded me of Breaking Bad in terms of like, wow, everyone in this show is just kind of a piece of shit. So yeah, love me some Succession though. Glad I watched it. Yes, I think we'll get a Cobra Kai spinoff. 100% we will. It's just a matter of when will it be announced and what will it be about. Most anticipated live action Disney remake in the future. Maybe that Hercules one, if that ever sees the light of day. They had talked about it for years. It's almost been 5 years, I want to say, of us talking about this movie. I remember vividly. This was back in 2020. I was doing a live stream with my buddy Trevor from Film Geeks, and this came up. Like, oh, who's going to be playing Hercules in the live action movie? And we were talking like, oh, maybe Taron Egerton, maybe so-and-so. That movie, it's 2025. They still haven't really made a lot of progress there. I think maybe Guy Ritchie was announced as the director, but I would say that Hercules movie, just because it's one of the remakes they could switch things up with. It's also one of the few remaining like beloved Disney movies that hasn't had specifically a Disney live action remake. We've had other like Hercules movies, but like Disney live action remake, we haven't really seen Hercules to my knowledge. So I would go with that one. Let me take a water break real quick. Max with the super chat. Thank you, man. $20 super chat. Thank you so much. It means a lot. Thank you. I love the question. Okay. Let's have some fun with this one. What is the best comic book movie trilogy of all time in your opinion? Okay, let's run down some. Let's run down some ones that clearly aren't the best of all time, okay? The Iron Man trilogy. The Thor trilogy, technically a quadrilogy, so that's out the window. Ant-Man, no. Guardians, anyone? You could argue it. It's not the best. It's not my favorite. It's in the conversation. Like, it's top tier, all right? There's two that come to mind for me. Two, a Marvel and a DC. Non-MCU, non-DCU or DCEU. The Dark Knight trilogy for DC, you could certainly argue. And I think the consensus would be that's the best comic movie trilogy of all time. But I kind of have leaned over the years right here, the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy. I am fully aware that Spider-Man 3 is the worst movie of the 6 movies in both trilogies combined. However, I have a very big soft spot for it. I think it's wildly overhated. The memeability makes up for a lot. The goofiness, if you can watch it almost as like a comedy in a sense, makes up for a lot. And I think there is a really powerful story about redemption there as well that people overlook. Yes, there's too much going on. There was clear studio interference with the villains. But in my opinion, Raimi's Spider-Man trilogy, it might be here's what I'll do. I think that's probably my favorite, okay? What's the best comic book movie trilogy of all time? It's the Dark Knight trilogy. No questions, in my opinion, if we're going straight up best. Excuse me. Sorry, I ate dinner right before the stream. But I would say the Dark Knight trilogy. It gets more epic with each entry. The Dark Knight is like the movie, Ledger's performance beyond iconic. You've heard people talk about it to death for a reason. But when it comes to The Dark Knight Rises, that's the movie that divides people the most, which I find fascinating because to me, it's the clear number 2. I think Begins is the weakest of the 3. Another hot take, but I've always been a Rises over Begins guy. Main reason being, I love the underdog story, and I feel like in that movie specifically, Batman's at a point where he is in hell. He's beaten down. He's got to rise up, though. When he rises from that pit, the score of The Dark Knight Rises is epic. The final, 45 minutes, crazy, anarchy in the streets, showdowns. Bane as a villain, I take over any villain, like Ra's al Ghul or Scarecrow from Begins. I take Bane. Just the man commands the screen. He's infinitely credible, and he's just the best, What does he say? He's like, he goes, "Blasphemous ashes. Then you have my permission to die." Come on. Give me The Dark Knight Rises over Begins. I own that. I'm proud of that take, actually. The final moments, come on, chills. Chills when he looks over and sees Alfred and they kind of nod at each other. I'm going the best comic movie trilogy of all time. The best is the Dark Knight trilogy. The favorite of mine that I would watch over any other as a 3-movie run, I'm probably taking the Raimi trilogy. Guardians, you could argue. Captain America, you could argue. You could argue the MCU Spider-Man trilogy as well. I'll tell you what, though, and then we'll move on. One movie that will define a trilogy is Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse. Because if that movie is a 4.5 to 5-star movie for me, that cements itself as one of the GOAT comic book movie trilogies. Could it usurp the Dark Knight trilogy? That'll be the conversation we'll have in about 5 years. I'm kidding. We'll have it maybe by the end of this decade if we're lucky. But oh man, thank you so much for the generous super chat and a great question. I love debating the comic book movie trilogies. All right, back in the chat now. Let's see. Again, fire off your questions. Let's do a speed round this time where I get through as many as I can. Try and catch up a little bit, but I won't be able to get to everything. Apologies again. And if you're here on the replay, let me know in the comments after the fact. And of course, hit that like button. If you're in here now, hit that like button. Truly does help out quite a bit. More than you know. Boom. It's free. Ready? 2 seconds. Boom. Someone just did it with me. Ready? Boom. Go did it. I don't even know it's happening. It's sort of a Severance situation. Okay. Gavin always asks some of the best questions. Gavin's the man. He's always in these streams for as long as I can remember. Gavin asks, hey, did you ever get around to watching Haunting of Hill House? No. And my buddy Jacob Starcourt, he's on me about it every year. And I'm like, damn, I didn't do it this year. So I got to get around to that one. I will in time. I almost need to prioritize that actually over any other spooky movie this year because I've told people I'll watch it. That's the one I got to get to. So Haunting of Hill House might be that and the Fear Street trilogy are two in terms of horror content. Those are top of the list. TV show, movie. It's Hill House. It's Fear Street. We're getting a new Fear Street movie. So I'll actually in May, I want to say. So I might watch the trilogy finally before then. We'll see. Jason, I know we had DM'd on IG. You were like, dude, I want to know what you think of this. So yeah, I got to get on the Penguin too. And I know I'll love it. That's the thing. It's one of those situations where it's what do I watch? There's just so much to consume. Okay. Let's see. Ooh, what do I expect from Karate Kid Legends? Not much. I expect desperation. I don't expect any references to Cobra Kai. I also expect Ralph Macchio to have a lot smaller of a role than the marketing is going to let on. So I hope I'm proven wrong by all of that, but I have a bad feeling in the pit of my stomach that it's going to disappoint pretty greatly. Am I going to watch Mickey 17? I intend to watch it eventually. Ollie says, hey, Chris, are there any Stranger Things cast you think would be a good casting for a comic book character in a future project? Go check out our video with my video I did with Ollie. It's here on the channel. It's one of my recent posts. We did fun predictions for Stranger Things 5. Ollie came up with a lot of those categories. He's the man. Go show him some love. Subscribe to his channel. Yeah, it's really not an original thought, but it's one that's been trending. It is Sadie Sink as Jean Grey. I would love to see her in the X-Men films for the MCU. It's perfect. I saw the image. Someone put out a graphic of her as Jean Grey, and I was like, that's what we need. And she's young enough to play the character for a while. Will she want to be tied down to another franchise after just getting off Stranger Things, being fresh off Stranger Things? Do I want to go do X-Men movies for a decade? That might be a big career commitment, so she might not want to. But you know what? I think that's what I'd roll with. If I had to give you sort of a wild card pick, let's say if we're talking 2017, I would have said, hey, I would love to see Joe Keery as Human Torch. But obviously, guess what? His counterpart, his co-star from Stranger Things 4, Joseph Quinn, is taking on that role. Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it. Ferris Bueller, baby. Yeah, great movie. Do I think Kathleen Kennedy stepping down from Star Wars will have a meaningful impact on Star Wars? I still think it will take years to recover. Yeah, I think irreparable damage has been done to the brand over the past decade to the point where it's going to take a long time to revamp Star Wars. I worry for the future of Star Wars. I think I've seen this take online. I'd love to hear y'all's thoughts in the chat. Is there a world where Star Wars is going extinct? I'll say it. I was hesitant to say it, but is there a world where Star Wars goes extinct, right? Think about it. Everyone who grew up on the movies, as they were coming out, they're all having kids now, and they introduced it to their kids. And so, that's all fine and dandy, but at a certain point, won't there just be look at the new projects that are coming out. After The Last Jedi, Rise of Skywalker, the division in the fandom was at an all-time high. It was irreparable damage has been done, truly. People have sworn off Star Wars. Now we're just getting streaming TV shows. Not everyone even has Disney+. So are the memories of that original trilogy, the prequels to many as well, are they just going to be lost in time? Is Star Wars going to be a fossil? Is I don't know. It's scary. It's sad. It seemed like it was the top dog forever. But it's getting watered down to the point where, is it even special anymore? I don't know. I feel like this happens with every franchise. I don't know how you guys feel, but I feel like in time, 50 years from now, almost every single major franchise that we love will have been brought down legacy-wise by inferior remakes, reboots, or sequels. It will never impact the quality of what we once loved or still love, mind you, the original trilogy, for example. But let's take Harry Potter, for example. We had the 8-movie run, phenomenal. Now we got 3 Fantastic Beasts movies that everyone's kind of mad on, and we're getting an entirely new show that might suck. So there's no telling. Look at Lord of the Rings. You had the trilogy, then you had the Hobbit movies. Now you got Rings of Power. There was an anime movie that was like, what's this? They're going to make more movies. What are we doing? Look at, I mean, those are the big 3 for the most part, but look at other franchises. I mean, Marvel Studios, for crying out loud. It's in a bit of a rough patch right now. No franchise is safe. You know what isn't safe? Stranger Things isn't safe. We could love season 5. I think we will. But 20 years from now, they could do tons of spinoffs that stink. Now, it won't ruin the original thing. That's something that we have to remember. Like, the original trilogy of Star Wars has not been ruined by anything. But the brand, the legacy overall, if you factor in everything under the Star Wars umbrella, has been undeniably tarnished a bit. So I think her stepping down is for the best. It's probably overdue. Whoever they get next, that'll be the biggest decision they've made in a long, long time. A long time. Okay, let me take a sip of water, sort of reset here. Again, we're having a great stream, 45 minutes in. You guys are crushing it with support. Super Chat's the way to go to guarantee I get right to your question, comment, concern, and again, hit that like button. Okay, let's see. Where are we at in the chat? Chat. Okay. Shoot. Sorry, trying to find where I was. This always happens. All right, I think I was in the ballpark of over here. Hit that like button, by the way. Do it. Okay, I think I might have... There we go. Found my spot. Would I vote for Favreau or Filoni over Lucasfilm? Neither. I think I might want fresh blood. I know that's a hot take, but I think I might want fresh blood. Because I don't know if what they've been doing, like, they're not perfect either. Like, I know people are like, oh, Filoni we trust. Like, Ahsoka was far from perfect. I liked it, but it was far from, like, great in the end, at least. I don't know. Filoni does some, like, inside knowledge things too much where, like, he almost alienates an entire part of the fandom because he's pulling from, like, Rebels so much, which I like Rebels a lot, by the way, but like, you got to do things that are like fresh and new that everyone can be on board with and not feel lost. And I feel like he sometimes goes too in depth with like the lore of these kid shows that people don't really have knowledge of now. By the way, apologies if the Wi-Fi is tripping. Let me check am I lagging too bad? Let me know. Up in the air on if I'm doing any Daredevil Born Again reactions or not. Alex says that I hear about Bernthal's. Yeah, I did. I'm very excited for the Bernthal Punisher spinoff. I'm actually kind of stoked for that, to be honest with you. I do wish that we were getting, you know, a straight up show, but that's life. That's life. All right, I'm lagging a bit. Let's see. Let me wait a second and see if it kind of goes away. We'll wait a second. Apologies for the Wi-Fi. It always likes to do this to me when I'm on a roll in the middle of the stream. All right, I think we might be. Are we good? Are we good now? Let me know in the chat. Are we good now on Wi-Fi? Let's see. Shoot. I think we are. So I'm going to continue. Let's keep on keeping on. All right. Okay. Cool. Again, I see so many questions here that I won't be able to get to. The best way to guarantee I can get to that is Super Chat. Okay. What movie franchise crossover would you be there for opening night? It can be wildly unrealistic too. I've said this before. And you know, I think Indiana Jones and Star Wars, just to see Harrison Ford as Han and Indiana Jones I'd be there opening night. It would be stupid. It wouldn't even be good anymore. This would have to be done in the 80s. Okay. But if it was done back then, I'm down. I'm so down. Or you know what? I take that back. National Treasure and Indiana Jones. I feel like they have very similar vibes. Indy and Ben Gates. Come on now. Do I think they'll put Inception in the Social Network in theaters again since it'll be the 15th anniversary? A boy can dream. I'll be there for at least the Social Network because I did see Inception in theaters for 10 years, which is crazy. That was 5 years ago. In 2020, I saw Inception. So I hope they put the Social Network in. I'd be there for sure. For sure. Okay, let's continue. I don't play too many video games. I'm more of a sports video game guy than anything. I know you're a big Sons of Anarchy guy. Severance is great. Yeah, it's really, really good. Really good. Keep Watch Burn, Dune 2, Mad Max Fury Road, and Avatar. You know, Carson, that I'm not crazy about it. These are like hot take movies for me. That being said, of the three, if I had to watch one right now, I'm going to watch Dune. So I'd keep Dune 2. I would burn. This is so hard. I would probably burn. You know what? Damn. I think Mad Max Fury Road is significantly shorter. So I'll watch that and burn Avatar. Kind of like this third movie. You fire and ash, right? Oh, man. What do I think about The Rock being in Scorsese's next film? Let's see. I mean, in Scorsese, we trust at times, but it could take a miracle to pull off a truly phenomenal performance from the man. Do you guys agree? I love the Punisher show. The character rules. Bring it. I'm ready for him back in Born Again. I'm ready for him in his special. Super chat guarantees that I answer your question as a huge way to help support the channel. That's what Film Stock said. Don't know who that is. The Wild Robot's so good. I've heard great things from people out there. Someone said, please go off on Invincible. All right. Here we go. Not yet. Not yet. I had it in me. I don't know if I want to do it now. I'm cold feet. Favorite Tarantino film? Favorite? Probably Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, really. That movie is so rewatchable. Oh, man. I love that. Quote it all the time with my friends still. Still quote it. Very quotable. Favorite college football team? Georgia. Been a Georgia football fan my entire life. I was born into it, and for a while I suffered. For a long time I did. And then in 2021 and 2022, I got to experience the two greatest seasons of my life, and it was joyful. And I'm content for life, though I am ungrateful about it all now. And I'm like, I want it every year. So I've become spoiled and unfortunately about it all. But that just happens. Consequences of success is what they say in college football. Look at Alabama fans. I don't know. I'm not saying that I'm that level yet, but you know, I imagine it's similar for Chiefs fans in the NFL. Like once they won and you start winning all the time, that just becomes the expectation. And it's kind of unrealistic to expect that every single year. And so it's unhealthy, probably unhealthy. And it's this past season, I think I might've had an unhealthy relationship with college football. If you want the truth, it might've gone too far. Keep Watch Burn, Invincible, The Boys, and Daredevil. I'm keeping Daredevil for sure. Those three. That show is incredible, and it's got the Punisher in it too. I am going to burn Invincible, and I'm going to watch The Boys. Season 1 of Invincible is the peak of that show to me so far. Season 2 is a step down. Season 3, where are we going? I don't know. That's the frustration I have with Invincible. Okay. Favorite quote from Step Brothers? Let me think on that. You know, I'd have to. I've seen so many clips from Step Brothers. Did it just have an anniversary recently, or is it like currently? Like I saw a video on TikTok of it today. It was of Dale interrupting. Is it Derek? Is that Adam Scott's name? His story. He was like, "Oh, you've ruined the dinner, possibly the whole evening." I don't know. I used to quote that a lot. There's a funny line. It's so stupid. What was it? He's like, oh my God, the whole Shark Week bit I used to quote with my friend all the time back in the day. But there's a line where he's like, why are you sweating? He's like, I was watching Cops or something like that. That's a funny one too. There's so many random one-liners in that movie. Okay. Ooh, Color Purple is the next movie on my Steven Spielberg journey. I should be watching it in the coming days at some point. So if you want to track along with my, what's it called? My Spielberg journey, what you'll need to do is follow me on Letterboxd at Filmstock. All right, do it. It's worth it. I give some reviews over there exclusively to things that I don't do here on the channel. 3 and Out in the chat. Everyone go subscribe right here. Do me a favor. Hold on. There we go. Right there. Go subscribe to 3 and Out so my good buds in the whole world over there talk college football and have a blast. I make an occasional appearance on the channel But it's a very, they got a fun thing going over there. Go subscribe to him. But my friend Noah says, have you started Severance? I have. I know you're a big Severance guy. I'll text you about it actually after the stream if you're still in here. I don't know if you are because this was like 30 minutes ago. That's the way these chats go. But yeah, I have. I'm on season 2 right now, so we'll have to chat about that for sure soon. Got to. Yeah. What's better? What's better? Cobra Kai season 5 or Cobra Kai season 6 part 1? Cobra Kai season, are you asking like the dojo? Or okay, let me just gather my thoughts on this one. I think Cobra Kai season 5 is better than Cobra Kai season 6 part 1. That's just the way I'm going to answer this question. Okay. Favorite episode of season 6 is probably episode 13 or 15. And what's funny is I think I actually saw you comment that in the chat. One of those two, I want to say, but at the same time, I really dug Ep 14. It's that 3-ep run. I can't pick one out. Maybe Ep 14 ends with the Terry Silver Kree showdown. You got, Tori v. Zara, Miguel v. Axel. I'd say that's a contender, right? You'd think. Has to be. Okay. How old are you? Someone asks. I'll answer. 25 years old. Will I watch The Last of Us season 2? I will. I'm excited for it. I'll rewatch season 1 prior to. I won't be replaying the games because that takes a hot minute. That's a time commitment. You want to talk about like binging a show or movie? Binging a game is like, especially The Last of Us 2, it's a commitment because I'll get like nauseous when I'm playing games too much. More than if I'm like watching a show or movie, I can just step off for a sec. But like games, whole body, brain, stomach, everything, I'm like, I'm sweating. Like I'm nauseous right now. I think it's because I'm so immersed and it's such a full body workout on the brain, the hands holding the controller. I'm sweating. It's a thing. It's a real thing. Okay. Am I 21 Pilots fan? If so, what's my favorite song by them? I wouldn't consider myself a fan. I've listened to a bunch of their like big hit songs over the years. I accompanied my girlfriend to a concert last year, actually. So it's not like I actively sought that out. I just was the sort of the plus one in the situation, But I would say the song I listened to a lot way back in the day, it's such a, let me make sure I have the name right. Okay. Where the hell is it? Hold on. What's the name of the song? Hold on. 21 Pilots. It's like definitely going to be in their top 5. It's, Ride. That's the one. That's the one that I listened to a lot in high school, like April 2017. No, scratch that. April 2016, I believe I was in my car driving to see the Jungle Book live action remake with 2 friends of mine. And one of our older friends, because we were sophomores and he was a senior, worked at this theater. It was like this theater with no recliners. And he like let us into the movie for free. Very weird situation, honestly, in retrospect. I don't know. Weird thing going. But the Jungle Book's fire. I don't care. That movie, not as good as the OG, I don't think, from the 60s. But yeah, I was listening to that song on the way there. One hand on the wheel with some shades on. Thought I was too cool for school, probably. Harry says, who do you think wins in a Cobra Kai 2v2, Miguel and Hawk versus Quan and Yoon? Is this even a question? Yoon is washed, in my opinion. I think Yoon is out of that fight immediately, and then we got a 2v1. And in that 2v1, I'm taking Miguel over Quan. So, I mean, Hawk can kind of just kick his feet back and comb his mohawk, I think it's over pretty quickly. This is the question that is so neat. This is why I love when Gavin comes in and asks these questions. So many people are like, what is he talking about? Gavin knows ball. This is some deep ball knowledge right here. Hands, cover, bruise, or in motion. Give me in motion. These are tracks from the Social Network score by Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross. Listen to it today on my walk. In motion. It sounds almost like the music that plays after you get off Space Mountain at Disney World. It's this upbeat. Oh my God, I love it. And I can picture the movie as I'm watching, as I'm, listening to that as well. And I try and like walk in step with this like dun 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 dun. I'm tone deaf, but it doesn't matter. That hell yeah, in motion all day. Maybe one of my favorite tracks from a movie ever. It's early on. It's then it's like Mark. I forget the time. It's like 10:17 or 10:18. He's like, 10:18 p.m. He like starts his coding, and it cuts to like the frat dudes on the bus, and then it's like later on in that scene, that dude's like, "Welcome to the first party of the fall semester." Anyway, great film. Out to the OG. Hell yeah. Oh man, I sing that all the time, and it triggers Cam. It really does. If she came in here right now and I started singing it, she would be like, "What are you doing?" We got 2 super chats. David with the super chat saying, "Do you plan on making another Stranger Things 5 theories video?" Absolutely. Yeah, I have a lot in the notes, if you will. I haven't made any theory videos. I guess I technically did a prediction video with Ollie, like I mentioned, but in terms of a straight up sort of theory video, maybe as we get a little closer. But as of right now, no theory videos. We need a little more to work off of. I'm waiting for like the release date, like I said, or that teaser to really go in on anything else. But as of right now, no theory video is fully in the works. Great question after I take this water break. What is the funniest moment in the MCU? Thank you for the super chat, by the way. Funniest moment in the MCU. Funniest singular moment in the cinematic universe for me. It's a damn good question to think of off the top of your head with all the movies and shows that exist. It'd probably have to be an Iron Man quip, if I'm being honest, because he's the funniest character to me, like Tony and his quips. Oh man. Let me think. I love whenever he flames someone, like just nonchalantly flames them. So, let's think. Spidey has some funny moments too. Maybe from No Way Home, actually, when we get, Andrew's Peter, they have some quips. They're having a scene on like the Statue of Liberty, and they're chatting up about like what they do in their different universes and all that. And then Toby does the callback to the Raimi trilogy about like his back issues, and Andrew cracks his back. That's a great bit. Ragnarok has some funny ones. The Guardians 3 car scene's pretty funny with like open the effing door, like that's up there. But on the spot, it's really hard for me to answer it. Like, oh, I do love the bit in Infinity War when Thor keeps calling Rocket like Sweet Rabbit. Great stuff. Thor's so hilarious in those 2 movies. But off the top of my head, damn difficult to answer that one. This was such a great question, by the way. Gavin's the same person who asked me the question, like who should direct. What it was a Tropic Thunder reference. It was one of the movie trailers, and he was like, who would direct this movie in real life? It was the Toby RDJ movie. What's that called? Devil's Alley or Satan's Alley? I think that's what it was called. What's your favorite lightsaber fight from the prequels? Mine's Anakin the Obi-Wan. I mean, that's like the answer, but if I'm being real here, like that's probably one. Right below that has to be Duel of the Fates with Maul. The score there, I think, puts it over the edge. As great as like Anakin the Obi-Wan, like I think Battle of the Heroes is the name of the track. Like that's all awesome, but Duel of the Fates, it's like it's the duel from like that defines the trilogy. Maybe a defining duel in all of Star Wars. So, damn, that's got to be up there. Favorite decade of film? Really, really good question. You could argue the 2010s. I know it's very recent, but some of my all-time faves are from there. The 90s. I mean, any decade. I mean, they're all great. I can't pick one. I mean, if we're going like iconic blockbusters, the 80s all day. You got so many Spielberg hits from E.T. to Raiders to Temple of Doom to Last Crusade. You got Die Hard in the 80s, Return of the Jedi and Empire in the 80s. You had Top Gun. I mean, just so many iconic movies from that decade. It's hard not to pick it. I know that that's kind of a hot take in terms of like best picture winners, not as strong of a decade, but like crowd pleasing popcorn movies, I'd go with that for sure. I absolutely plan to watch Fear Street, by the way. What's a perfect way OBX can end? I don't even know where they're headed, to be completely honest with you. There's no telling what a perfect ending for OBX could be. Maybe a time jump. It seems like Sarah Cameron and John B are going to have a child, so maybe they're happy with their kid. Married, they have like a big wedding ceremony or something. That could be like a public thing, maybe. I don't know what to expect anymore with OBX, but I'm here for the ride, as insane as it is. What's the worst show you've ever seen? Honestly, it could be. I didn't even finish it. It might be She-Hulk. recently. Like, I know that's harsh because there are other shows out there that probably stink, but She-Hulk I could not really get into. I don't know. If the thing about this question is, like, if a show sucks, I'm out. I'm not going to endure that. So I'd say She-Hulk is in the conversation. Secret Invasion stunk by the end, which is crazy. Like, the first 2 episodes, I was sold. I like put out a positive review, I think, and then it ended up just kind of stinking in the end. So yeah, one of those MCU shows that really stinks, probably, if I'm being honest. Cobweb. I've heard good things about Cobweb. Yes, I have. I talked about this earlier. If you want to hear my thoughts on a little Severance, I have started the show. I'm digging it, really digging it. Thoughts on John Lithgow being cast as Dumbledore? My thoughts are, I think that show is destined to fail. I think that it's just such a tough task to remake, or rather readapt the books without pissing off a ton of people, just because everyone's gonna be like, oh, it's not as good as these movies that we all know and love and grew up with. And so very difficult. I think John Lithgow is a great actor. Obviously, I haven't seen Dexter. I know he's a villain in that, but when I think of him, honestly, I think of Barney Stinson's real dad from How I Met Your Mother. He's also in, like, he's in the most random things. He's in, like, Daddy's Home 2. He's in Pitch Perfect 3. Obviously, he's got a lot more impressive. He's in Conclave, the movie that the Pope movie that's nominated for Best Picture. I mean, he's a really good actor. So we'll see, but I'm just so not excited for that show that it's hard to even think about the cast for it, really, and like feel anything. Ugh. Jaden the Bro with Super Chat. Is that a Cal Kestis signed Funko? I'm jealous. That is. Wow. With like a bluish paint pen, it seems like. Damn. Jaden says, who are your top 5 actors you want to meet? But it's hard. So, like, actors they're like probably out of the question for ever going to a convention. Is that what you mean? Like, one of those would probably be Matthew McConaughey. One of those would probably be Robert Downey Jr. These are people who I'm never going to meet. I would probably throw Andrew Garfield on the list, maybe. I'm thinking of people who go to conventions. Like, all the Stranger Things people I haven't met, I'll meet them one day at a convention, probably. Who else? It'd be really cool to meet who, let's see, like, who wouldn't go to a convention? Brad Pitt never would go to a convention, obviously. That's so below him. but no, I would say Brad Pitt, awesome to meet. And maybe I'd have to say Leo as well. So those names would be really, really cool to meet them. I also think Florence Pugh would be quite delightful to sit down and have a meal with. Yeah. Moving on, we've got shoot, where are we at? Dakota, appreciate it. Hold on. 1 second. That's funny. That's funny. If this is actually, I don't know if this is like my buddy Brandon or a different Brandon, but that's funny as hell if that's actually Brandon. Oh man. Who knows? If it is, that's legendary. If not, welcome in other Brandon. Okay. Hottest Cobra Kai take. My hottest Cobra Kai take, apparently, this is a hot take, is that Sam LaRusso is like a top 5 character in the show. And that's just probably like floors so many people, apparently. But for me personally, I'm going like Johnny and Miguel. I'm throwing Sam in that 3 slot, probably. Yeah, I'll say it. I own it, and people go crazy over it, but she's a top 3 character. I'll say that. Over Kreese, over Silver, over Robbie, over Tori, over Hawk. Yeah, that's a hot take, I know, just too many. What's your favorite PlayStation game? Uncharted was one I loved way back. I got the Uncharted 4 collection, or maybe it was the 3 with my PlayStation 4 back in the day, and then I got the new one when it came out, played the hell out of it. Uncharted and The Last of Us are 2 that come to mind. Apologies if I was ever lagging again. I'm looking through the chat here. I'm seeing issues. Fede Alvarez and Dan Trachtenberg, Alien v Predator, Time to Do It Right. Yeah, I'd be here for that, dude. That would be so sick. That would be sick because it would be way better than the crap we got, especially Requiem. My God, what a crap movie. Abysmal watch, actually. Don't watch Requiem ever. Ever. Please. Big Chiller says, what is your favorite Corey Feldman film? Mine is also Stand By Me, which is a basic answer. I mean, it's a great movie, though. I got to watch that one again soon. Is Invincible overrated garbage, or is it on par with The Boys? It's neither. It's not garbage. I think it is a bit overhyped, overrated. It's not on par with The Boys. I think The Boys is a better show. Invincible is a frustrating watch for me because season 1's fantastic. Season 2, we expand the world and like introduce so many new characters and plot points and grow out the world that it feels a little less focused. And season 3, we're kind of getting the after effects of that as well, in my opinion, where there's like this overarching plot that's like, hey, Alan the alien and Omni-Man are maybe teaming up because they want to take down the Viltrumites. And then, oh my God, there's only 50 pure blood Viltrumites left. Whoo, let's go take down Viltrum and the Viltrumites. That's what I'm the most interested in. But we're getting weighed down by Mark. And I'm just going to say it. You wanted to hear me air my grievances? We'll do it. And I'll own it. I mean, I got to say, Mark's just a whining little brat this season to me. Okay? Like, I can't deal with it. He frustrates me to no end. He's so whiny in every damn scene. And every episode, I'm pissed off at the kid. I am. I also feel like the Adam Eve romance extremely rushed. I mean, always kind of there in the background. You felt like, oh, they're going to be together. It was almost like they were better together before they were officially together. This season, the last episode, throw it away. Complete waste. All right? Characters from season 1, mob bosses, there's like 30 of them. One of them will show up as like the antagonist of an episode, and then it'll be like, oh, we'll see them in season 5. And it's just like, there's no focus here. What's the focus of this season? I'm pissed off because it's only 8 episodes a season. And it's not like they're hour plus eps, 45 minutes. And then so like this is the 6th episode that comes out tomorrow. And like, what has this season really progressed? Honestly, screw it. I don't even need Invincible in his own show. Just give me Alan the alien, who's the best character, by the way, and Omni-Man, who's right there with him. Those two are the best characters in the show. Mark, get the hell out of here. I don't care. I know I'm probably pissing off a lot of people. This is my opinion. And let's just see them, all right? Because I'm done with Mark right now. I'm done. He's a child, and I can't deal with this crap. I can't. It's really frustrating to watch for me. Whew! What's the best Pirates movie? Curse of the Black Pearl, but Dead Man's Chest is a hair below it. How excited am I for Fantastic Four on a scale of 1 to 10? About an 8.5, I'd say. I'm really looking forward to that. Balin Levine in the finale and Cobra Kai Kid was lit. Yeah, I didn't see Cobra Kai Kid when I watched the first time. I still haven't, to be honest. I saw the clip he put out and like the images. I'm like, hell yeah, Cobra Kai Kid's awesome. I was on Drew his channel. We did a live stream. In confession time, I didn't know really who the other guy is until like recently. I think I've heard of him, but I didn't know who he was. I know he's like a big YouTuber, big TikTok following, but I just didn't know. But it's cool. He's a big Cobra Kai fan apparently, and that's hype. Good for him. I know I'm just in the dark on some things. I didn't know. I think I'd heard of him, but I didn't like know. And then I've seen all of his older videos now show up on my For You page. I'm like, oh wow, he'd been making content about Cobra Kai forever. I think he's like a big YouTuber. Is he like a prank YouTuber? I think I saw prank videos. I was a little confused by that. I was like, oh, is this guy like a prank YouTuber or something? I didn't know. Okay. 30-minute rant. Maybe a 30-minute rant for a full video. Maybe. Talking happy moments. What character or duo having a happy ending will get you the most emotional at the end of season 5? For sure, Steve. For sure, Steve Harrington. If he gets like if he lives, he gets to ride off into the sunset and maybe end up with Nancy, maybe just have his own new life, new fresh start. That one will get me the most, I think, just because it'll hit me the most because, again, I said this before, but when Stranger Things 1 came out, I was the same age as the character Steve when I watched it, and so I've always felt like I resonated with that character deeply, and so it'll be like moving on from the character, but also me moving on in life from the show. It's going to be a very emotional thing for me. Do I think Bucky could get his own solo film? I don't. I don't think Marvel likes Bucky enough to do that. Plus, with the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and what's the other one? Hold on. I would say, yeah. No, I don't think we're going to get it. I did finish The Acolyte. Holy hell. Thank you for reminding me. The Acolyte might be one of the worst shows I've ever seen. This is referring back to an earlier question. Yikes. Oh, I'm going to throw up. No. Do I think Cobra Kai would be able to work as a standalone series without the movies? So like, what would it be about, I guess? Because without the movies, I mean, how would that even work? I mean, the foundation of Cobra Kai is the film. So Would it just be a show about the Cobra Kai dojo without any characters from like even like Robbie and Sam are like the children of characters from the Karate Kid. So I don't know how that would work. Honestly, no clue. No, I guess would be my answer because it's so deeply rooted in the Karate Kid and the Miyagi verse. Gavin says if the Uncharted movie was remade, who would you cast as Nate and Sully? Damn good question. I wouldn't go as young with it. I loved the Nathan Fillion pick way back in the day when there was like a fan film made. I think he's too old now. Who would I cast as Nate and Sully? Sully would have to be that's tough one. Who would I cast as Nate and Sully? Man, that's a really good question, man. Let me look it up. Let me look up like actors who could play him. I don't know. Let's see. So obviously Tom Holland played him, but some people are saying Charlie Cox. This is a Tumblr. 7 actors who would be perfect. Colin Farrell, Josh Duhamel. This is really old. Jensen Ackles, Dylan McDermott, Charlie Cox. I don't hate the Charlie Cox one, actually. I kind of see that. So I'll go with it because Google told me to. So Charlie Cox would be cool. He's currently Daredevil. I think he could play Nathan Drake. Sully, though, that's a tougher get. Bit of an older fella. Maybe... Yeah, I don't know if I have an answer for Sully right now. Who has a great mustache in Hollywood? Yeah. I don't have anything for that. Maybe... No, nothing. Sorry. I just want to see Walton Goggins in it, maybe. Why not? Oh, man. Okay. Yeah, I love Sam Russo. Stand By Me, masterpiece. Might be my favorite movie of all time. Valid, dude. Valid. Damn good pick right there, man. That's a good one. I think I'm actually going to steal that. I would like to see Bryan Cranston as well. Who would my Nate be, though? Maybe someone younger than Charlie Cox now I think about it. Like, not significantly, but like no, he's too old probably. I feel like, nope. Yeah, that's a really difficult casting choice to make, but I don't know. I didn't hate Tom Holland in the role, truly. Didn't hate it. We'll probably wrap it up here in a second, though. So if you have any last minute questions, fire them off. If you want to guarantee I get to it, Super Chat's the way to go. Of course, hit that like button. And yeah, we'll wrap this thing up soon. I'll go watch some Severance. Thoughts on Peaky Blinders? Haven't started it yet. It won the poll, but I'm watching some other shows right now that have like new episodes releasing. And I'm doing my Spielberg journey. So that'll be one that I watch soon because it won the poll. But we'll have to see. Ooh, hot take, Murray's a top 5 character. Murray's great. Murray's very underrated. I'd say maybe the most underappreciated character in the entire show. So I could agree with this. I wouldn't say he's top 5, obviously, but he's maybe him and like, yeah, I'd say he might be the single most underappreciated character in the show. Murray the Bald Eagle Bauman, baby. I have not seen The Gorge yet. I heard it's like a blend of a bunch of different genres, like romance, horror, action, thriller. So I'm intrigued, but it's on Apple TV Plus, so it'd be pretty easy to watch. I've never seen a Woody Allen movie. My thoughts on him as a person, I've heard some pretty awful things. So yeah. Nathan Drake is difficult to cast. Back then I would say Bradley Cooper, but he's too old now. Again, yeah, 18 era Bradley Cooper, I could see that for sure. Now you're right. It's hard to choose. Maybe like shoot, I don't know. How would we feel about like? No, I don't know if Joe Keery could do it. No. Yeah, that's tough. Really tough, actually. Nope. I'm thinking of people in my head out loud. No. Yeah, that's dumb. That's dumb hard. No, couldn't see it. Yeah, that's really difficult. I don't know who they got to make more Uncharted. I think they're doing a second one, aren't they? Byler or Maleven? I've always been a Maleven guy. I think they've been set up since the beginning. Joseph Quinn, someone says. I was thinking that in my head just then. I was like, maybe Joseph Quinn could do it. I was also thinking maybe Dacre Montgomery could do it, who played Billy, but I don't know. I feel like that ship has sailed a bit. I think Max and Lucas having a happy ending might get me the worst. Yeah, the most. Yeah, that could be the case, dude. I've not watched Paradise, the Hulu series. I've heard good things though. It got renewed for season 2, I want to say. So hell yeah to that. Vivid Edit says top 3 video games you think should be remade into a show or movie. For me, Red Dead Redemption 1 through 2, Last of Us 1 through 2, and GTA 5. So Last of Us currently has obviously the show coming out. GTA, I think that we'll get something for that eventually. They could totally do an HBO show called Grand Theft Auto, and they could make seasons out of it. I really believe that. I don't know why they haven't actually, unless I missed something. Red Dead Redemption, same thing. I feel like they could do something with that. Last of Us, though, really pumped for, guys. Really pumped for that. Do I like Breaking Bad season 5 or Stranger Things season 4 the best? I actually think I prefer, as time has gone by, I might actually prefer Breaking Bad season 4 to season 5. I don't know. Those 2 seasons of Breaking Bad are phenomenal, and they go back and forth for me. But I just think Gustavo Fring's presence in season 4 is really what elevates it over season 5 at times. But this final 3 to 5 ep run of Breaking Bad season 5 is incredible. I prefer season 4 of Stranger Things just because you guys know that's my cup of tea. That's my comfort show. It's what I go to. But I mean, they're both such great, vastly different shows. I think comparing them is not really beneficial, but they're vastly different shows and genres and everything. I have seen A Quiet Place. Yes. Elijah, what's up? I think I take Inception over Interstellar, but to each their own. I know that's kind of a hot debate in the Nolan community. I am intrigued by GTA 6. And I'll probably take a few more and wrap it up. No time for caution or time. I think time is the greatest, maybe the greatest piece of music, singular music ever composed for a movie. I'm being so serious when I say that. I love like a lot of the things off Interstellar, but time is just built different. It's built different. I listened to that in like high school when I would go to like on the bus for like an away game. Like I would be like ready. So I think time is the singular, maybe best track of any soundtrack or score for a movie ever. So I think I might go with that. Yeah. It's tough though. Very, very tough. Cobra Kai season 4 versus Stranger Things season 4. Give me Stranger Things season 4. My buddy Drew in the chat. Shout out Drew. 3 and Out was in here earlier. You might be familiar with 3 and Out, Drew, right? No, I'm messing with you. Obviously, Drew, my buddy, Noah and Brandon, they're over at 3 and Out. I shouted them out earlier. Go follow. Subscribe, actually, would be the proper term. Go subscribe to their channel. 3 and Out. Look it up on YouTube. Go sub. Get into 1,000 subs, I believe. We can do this thing. Look, I have not seen House of Cards, but you know what I found out recently, Drew? Tic Tac taught me this. The ta-doom sound came from his fist, like knocking on a desk. I had no clue. Literally had no clue. And so that was crazy to see like someone edited it together. A scene from that show. I don't know what scene where like the main dude goes like that. And it sounded exactly like the it was trippy. Real trippy. But we learn something new every day. Okay. Probably gonna wrap it, honestly. I've actually seen Conclave. I have a review of Conclave on the channel. Not to be confused by Drew Aller. Yeah, Drew Aller is a bum. I concur. I concur. And then I have not watched Yellow Jackets. I've heard good things about Yellow Jackets. Do I watch Transformers? How long do you have? My feud with the Transformers fandom is almost 2 years old now. It began in the summer of 2023. Oh man, go watch my Rise of the Beast review if you're wondering what I'm referring to. That's my answer. Can I say Cobra Kai never dies? Cobra Kai never dies, baby. Hey man, hope you're doing well. Same to you, Isaiah. Did I get Wicked on Blu-ray? Yeah, I did. I got it on 4K. I have with the slipcover. I've watched it. What a film. What a picture. Why do I think the Batman Part 2 is being delayed? Probably trying to perfect the script. Also, there could be debates going on behind the scenes about if they want to restructure it to fit into the DC universe or not. That's kind of my ongoing theory, but we really don't know. Yeah, I did that on purpose. Tic-tac. Someone said that on TikTok a while ago and I picked it up, like some big dude, a big guy on TikTok. Optimus Prime versus 11. So a robot versus with really no power except transforming and can fight versus 11. I would take 11. Would stop Optimus Prime in his tracks and launch him into the sun. So give me 11. Oh man, all time. I agree. My beef with Transformers is all time comical. It might never happen again. All right. I think that was a funny one to end on. So yeah, we will end it there. That was a fun stream though. Went for about an hour and a half roughly. Thank you guys for being in here. If you were on the replay, thank you. If in here live, thank you. Appreciate those who sent in super chats. Shout out David, Movie Fame 2002, Jaden the Bro, Max. Yeah, thank you guys so much for the super chats. Of course, hit the like button if you're in here right now or on the replay. And yeah, stay tuned for more videos coming this week. I got 2 shorts out, so check those shorts out. Show some love to those. But in terms of long videos, I don't know what the next one will be. I got to workshop some things. But next week, I'll be covering Daredevil for sure. Simply Cinema in here. Just missed the stream. Yeah. Next time, baby, to quote Iron Man 2. Hope all's well with you, Josh. But that'll do it for this one. No, thank you guys again. Have a great rest of your night. I'm going to go watch more Severance and have a protein snack. I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, thank you guys again for being here. All love your way. And until next time, see you guys later.